What if I told you that addiction was a lie and that they needed you to buy into that lie in order to perpetuate the need to sell more drugs? Who is they? Well, the FDA. You see, they get you hooked on things like lower tabs, and then they sell them, and then they move them on to various other products like methadone, suboxone. Now, when I say the word hooked, I don't mean that, oh my god, I have to take it and I need to do this as an addiction thing. What I mean to say is that they get doctors to prescribe them for money. They're hooked on the profits that they make. Most of these drugs work, and the facts are in the numbers, and I want you to double check me. Now, the total number of addicts in the United States of America, I don't know all the other countries in the world, but I'm sure you'll find it's pretty similar since human beings are human beings. About 20 million people. Now, I'm sure that's a little underreported, but we can work with that. There are about 350 million Americans. Now, if you cut off the children and the elderly and so forth and so on, and we round down the bottom 10% and the top 10%, we make ourselves a nice Ponson distribution chart. We only work within the 80% in the middle. We can take 30 million off the bottom, 30 million off the top, so forth and so on. So if we removed 60 million from 350, we get roughly 290. Let's just say 300 million, give or take. Okay? And I'm willing to say that there's more than 20 million addicts. I'm willing to say 30. I'll increase it by 50%. Okay? Now that means that 10% of the country is addicted to some drug. Now that can be alcohol, that can be caffeine, that can be heroin, that could be barbiturates, benzos, opioids, painkillers, doesn't matter. Okay? But that means 9 out of 10 aren't. So here's the thing. Let's do a little thought experiment like Einstein used to do. Let's use our brains if we're smart, intelligent, thinking people. Almost all of us have at some point taken a drug, whether it is marijuana, opioid, caffeine, whatever. I don't know what the exact number it is, but I would say it's probably 80 to 90%. Whether it's crack, hell, I've done probably 20 or 30 different drugs in my life. I've never been addicted to any of them. Okay? The vast majority of people don't get addicted, just like most people gamble and don't get addicted. This is where the myth comes in. And there's 2 layers of proof here that I'm going to show you. The first is in the treatment. First is rehab is the treatment. By definition, the word rehab means to create new habits or to learn new habits, to retrain hab. It's from the Greek root. It's a Greek root word meaning hab. And I don't have the exact definition in my mind. Sorry, but it's like basically to do. You know, so to have to do an action or perform an action. So you are redoing actions. Okay, so if you understand what that means and where it comes from, then you understand that that is the cure. You cannot rehab diseases. If I catch a virus, a coronavirus or AIDS or cancer, or like for example, I'm sick. I have dysautonomia. I'm a disabled person. I can't rehab it. You can't rehab the common cold. You can't rehab real illness, real disease. Tell someone with polio, go rehab it. It doesn't work. It's a freaking joke, and it pisses me off, and I'm tired of hearing it. That's the first lie that they push onto you. The second one is the numbers, like I just said, 10%. of the population. You say, there's so many. Yeah, if you're an emotionally uh, thoughtful person, but factual, logically minded people who don't get caught up in numbers, who understand that only 10% is really not that much. Because when you think about how much widespread use these drugs are, that goes to tell you that, what if I asked you, like I said, the thought experiment question, and I said, let's say we took the bottom 50 percentile of humans, and I said they were just piss poor at making decisions, and you were in the bottom 50 percentile of those people, or even the bottom 25 percentile of those people, and you made very bad decisions. And then I took another group of people, and I said you were in the bottom 50 percentile or 25 percentile of people who not only you made bad decisions, but you had no willpower. And it doesn't matter how you got there. We're not judging here. Remember, we're thinking like scientists. We're saying we have a group of people that they weren't raised right. They had single parents, abuse, broken homes, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, because there's a statistical scale. You're going to have very high disciplined people. You're going to have very low disciplined people. You're going to have people who make great decisions, people who make poor decisions. And this is going to be a scale for all kinds of things. But if you just took those two personality traits and you found that there were certain people who just had low willpower, and they were in the bottom 25 percentile of the human race in that category, and they were also poor decision making, and were the bottom 25 percentile in that category. And you can think of many characteristics that an addict may have. Maybe they just don't have great morals. They're narcissistic. How many narcissists are out there, right? They're great at projecting blame or gaslighting, whatever it is. And they're in the bottom 10% of these categories. We just took those two categories. And I said, okay, find me a group of people. Give me 10,000 people. And we'll do these standardized tests. And give me a group of people who's in the bottom 25% and the bottom 25% of decision making and willpower. And you multiply those numbers together, 25 and 25 is going to get you about 5%. So I'm going to get a 5% of the worst who exhibit these two personality traits. Okay? You're going to find those people are going to be more likely to be addicts, because they're going to go out in the world. You're going to give them something that is innately benign and harmless, and that 9 out of 10 of us could take every day and have no problem with, and use it exactly the way it's supposed to be used. And what would they do? Well, they wouldn't do what a normal person would, because they're at the bottom of the list. They're going to make the worst choice, and they're going to use it over and over and over again. They're going to take twice the amount prescribed. They're going to take it in the morning, the night, right before bed. They're going to take it when they don't need to take it. They're just going to do dumb shit with it. That's their problem to begin with. The problem is not the medication. The problem is the person using it. It's as if I give them a weapon, instead of keeping it where they need to, safely in their holster. What are they going to do? You've seen YouTube videos of people with everything out there. Some of them go and they take, gasoline and rockets and fireworks, and they go out and they try to find ways to just blow shit up. It's just in their nature. And then people get guns and they run around and shoot a bunch of people. Should that mean nobody should have guns? There's always going to be the dumbest of the dumb. And if you take who is the dumbest of the dumb, you're going to end up with the bottom 5 to 10% of the population. What is the percentage of addicts? It's the 5 to 10% of the population. It's no more than anything else. So if you took the normal amount of people, if I give 100 people a drug and 10% are addicts, you can't tell me that then the drug is highly addictive. It would be highly addictive if 50% of them exhibit problems, but not when it's the same 10% that are getting in trouble all over the place. Because I can point to 10% who are high risk in any other field. Period. Bar none. How many people speed? How many people commit crimes? If you want to get technical on crimes, tax avoidance. I'm talking about white-collar, stupid crimes, right? There are 60-70% of people who break the law, who speed, who cheat on their taxes, who cut corners, who do all these little things. Okay? But when you get down to the brass tacks of it, the nitty gritty of it, you tell me only 20 million. And like I said, I'm giving you 30. I'm spotting you at 10. 30 million out of 350 are addicts, but these drugs are highly addictive. And remember, you're talking about heroin, crack. These are the ones that are bringing up the numbers. The safer drugs, like Xanax, are actually at a lower rate, meaning they're not 10%. They're like 5. So then again, I have a drug where 95% of people uses these drugs every day. And you have legitimate pain patients who take the drugs, and it's 95% effective with no side effects for nobody, ever. And they don't have any problems with it. The 5% who do have problems are already problem makers. And every single time, every one of them gets off of it and gets rehabilitated because they're just being taught the skills that the rest of us already have. See, I was born rehabilitated. That's why I can't be an addict, because I was taught those skills from birth, or I learned them or accumulated them in life. But they get a big celebration. Oh my God, you're clean now. You've been sober 6 months, sober 5 years. I've been sober 42 years, and nobody's throwing me a parade. So screw you and your sobriety. I don't recognize it. But they want to give them an out. They want to say, oh my God, this person, he's such a hero. Oh, he's sobered up. Like, oh, you finally decided to join the rest of us as being an adult. Congratulations. I've been an adult my entire life. But I can't get my pain medication because you decided to go screw off and make piss poor decisions in your life. We need to stop this entitlement in this country and in this world. We need to stop celebrating failures and piss poor decision makers. These are the people that ruin it for everybody else, while good people who are trying to take the medication the correct way and go to work and support their families and put food on their table can't get the medication that they need to survive. And they end up having to commit suicide. While everybody else is getting celebrated, you're celebrating people who are enabling the suicide of other people. Or these people just get fed up and they go out on the streets and then they have to go buy it illegally or illicitly or lie, cheat, and steal however they can. Because nobody's lining up to pay my bills or anybody else's bills. And nobody's celebrating me. We've got it backwards in this country and in many other places in the world. This video is for everybody out there who is suffering, who has done it right, who always did it right. For that 76-year-old woman in a wheelchair who the doctor cut her pain meds 50%. Or for the 65-year-old man who gets told just because you're a man, suck it up, too bad, and they just cut your pain meds off, period. For the 40-year-old who has a family of 5, who's got to go to work every single day, so he has nothing else to do, and he's got to lie and get put on methadone or Suboxone just for some kind of pain relief, so he has to tell the doctor that he is an addict, because the only way they'll give him any kind of pain medicine is if you lie and say you're an addict, because they'll give them to addicts all day long. But real pain patients, they won't give it to us at all, period. Because addicts are put on a pedestal, while law-abiding citizens who are doing it right are allowed to die in the streets. So, everybody out there, we need to be the louder voice. No more celebrating and clapping and cheering for these failures and these fuck-ups. It's time for the rest of us who do right to fight back.